and he's breaking off. This is a one-loss side match. Just a wee sec. Let's see if we can get this to work. No, it doesn't work. Anyway, this is the first of the matches we've got tonight, and a quick look at the bracket. We've got Cobra and Larry underway. We've got LS3 and Bedhead. I don't know why I thought they were starting at 7. I'm telling you, I don't know what I'm doing here. But we've got Cobra and Bedhead now, and we've got Cobra and Larry. I'm going to get my head sorted. Cobra and Larry at the moment. Then we've got Bedhead and LS3 at 8 o'clock, and then we have Stub versus Semi-Pro at 8:30. So obviously we're going to cross over at some point. Good evening, chaps. Welcome back. Well, somebody's got to go tonight. Somebody's going to be leaving the tournament. The big question is, who's it going to be? Well, I said the other day that Larry maybe has to try and keep things very tight, because if Larry's instincts take a hold of him and he can't get himself out, then I think he's playing a bit more into Cobra's hands. Cobra, with his positional play, it gives him the edge, but we know how the break works. The break's either going to work for you or work against you. Now Larry, if you haven't seen the Larry Acero match earlier on in the tournament, this is why Larry's here in the one-loss side, because Acero was breaking brilliant. He was breaking, getting a ball, getting a shot, running the rack, and there was nothing Larry could do. So Larry needs the break to work for him. Well, oh, the mouse is at the wrong speed again. Hang on, that's better. Yeah, he can't play the billiard, but he can try and be cute here and just skim the one, very gentle, and just get to the rail by the 6. And he might get in behind the 6 here. He can only see half the 1 ball, so that's a shot he'll be playing. Yep, we've definitely got some good matches tonight. Welcome all the latecomers. I'm sure we'll get a few more viewers tonight if the word gets around. And has he got there? Because that was the only shot really available for him, and he hasn't. He just hasn't got there, but nothing to worry about at the moment, although there's a strong possibility of the 2-6 billiard here. I think Cobra will run into the 10 and the 8. Well, I told Larry different. That's the trouble with Larry. Larry's loosening up all the time, and he's loosening up too many times, and that's why he's ending up losing when it comes to the crunch matches. But we'll see what happens. Well, Cobra decided against it, and he's left Larry the billiard onto the 6. Now, again, there's no value in doing it though, because unless he plays it hard, the 1's going to go safe. Now he could play the cut on the one onto the 6 because that goes. Let's have a wee closer look. I mean the 1-6 combo is definitely on, but the billiards have no value at all, so he'll play the combo. Now is he going to try and break this 2 and 9 at the same time? Well, he's went for the combo, missed it, but he hasn't damaged the 2. But there is a very strong likelihood this is going to open up on this shot. Stub, if I was you, I'd be in practicing. So I'd be getting your pace sorted out. Try and tighten up those positional shots. Well, Cobra not getting to the 1, so ball in hand. Now Larry, this time, he's looking to play the billiard. He's thinking about that, but he's got to break the 2 out if he's going to give himself a chance. Well, what is it they say? You have to play like it means nothing, but it means everything, or something like that. Oh, goodness me. Well, at some point this 6 ball's going to drop. It's certainly going to drop now. Yep, Stubbs here. That just proves he's been messing about. He could have the match started earlier, and that just shows you that he's been pissing about the last 2 days. Yeah, if he had any sense with that messing about to make it more genuine, he wouldn't even have been here. He would have kept his mouth shut. So he's let the cat right out of the bag there. Only a numpty would do that, by the way. I don't know whether he can break this 2 and 9 from this shot. He's stunned into the 2. The 9's killed the 2 stone dead onto the rail. Now we've got a 3-9 combo set up. Yeah, that was all a total waste of time last night. All of that gabble and chat for no reason at all. Nah, this is Stubbs' brother. There's not another member in your family. Definitely not. Well, we've got a cagey first rack here. A cagey start from both players. But Larry has a chance on this 2, and he can drop over for the 3. Well, he's underhit that slightly. Has he got there? He must have got there. He has just got there and no more. So he's got to just chip the edge of the 9 with the 3. And the 9's off the rail, which is actually pretty good. Now how's his luck? Not bad. Now, of course, the other problem is going to be the 8 ball. This is a bit straight. He's underhit it again. He's the two shots he has played has just been a wee bit too gentle. And this not quite getting on the ball is always the lead up to a breakdown. You just cannot keep stringing these together. Well, he's got enough angle, but he's still got to find a way from this 7 to the 8, and the problem is he doesn't want to do too much with this 5 ball, but he has to get the cue ball out. He doesn't want to leave this a high cut. The high cut is no good to get on this 8 ball, and these pockets won't accept them unless they're sweet right in the pocket. If it goes to the knuckles, it'll hang up at pace. And that, well, it's got there. Now I think he can draw back, and he's got to get to that middle pocket. He can't leave this really before the middle pocket. He wants to get to the middle pocket to make this more comfortable on the 8 ball. Doesn't want to be cutting it high. And that is not bad. That's exactly where I wanted to be. Had to get good on it. You don't want to leave yourself awkward shots. Good evening, Moz. Yep, he's being deliberate. But as I say, he needs to keep a steady rhythm. This is the first rack, and the first rack is on the board, and that first rack took about 14 minutes. But like I say, he might want to change the break as well. Now, where did he break from there? Because I wasn't looking, I was reading at the chat. Did Larry just break from the middle? Did he break from the centre of the kitchen? Somebody must have been watching it, because I wasn't paying any attention. But that's the same patterns happening right now like it happened in Acero. Larry's broke off. He's left Cobra a shot, and Cobra's going to run out, and Larry wants to be getting a ball in the break. He wants to be getting in control if he's going to stay with Cobra, and Cobra likewise has to run out. Simple as that. Table's wide open. We expect that of him. Now 5 to the 6, no problem. 6 to the 7 could end up being tricky because of that 8 ball, and depending on what angle he has on the 6. So this isn't showing up yet, this rack. It can go wrong. Now you see he's the wrong side of this 5. He's going to gently roll it in, the pace will be fine, and he should have a good angle in the 6. He doesn't want to go through too far though, just having to gently do it. Now he's going to come across, and he may well be trying to come across off this near rail and then run into the 8, unless he's going to try and baby it in from there, really gentle. Yep, he's just trying to get it in. He's on the 7, and he should be out now, and that's the first rack won by Larry. Larry's broke off dry, table wide open, shot on for Cobra, and he's going to run out. And that's how important it is to get luck on your side on this break. And like I say as well, did anybody catch, nobody's typed where Larry was breaking. Did you see left side he was breaking from stub? Well, just watch where Cobra breaks from. But this to tie the match at 1 rack all, and Larry did nothing wrong other than break and come up dry. So Cobra breaking from the first diamond in the left as we look, and the 3 ball's gone in, and he's got a shot in the 1. It's going to be the 2-6 to follow. The 5's the problem ball. Right, so 2 ball, really gentle, just to get the 6 in the pocket, keep the 2 there, and then the 4 to follow. So no problem with the 4 ball. But what does he do about this 5? Is he going to just take his medicine and play the bank on the 5? Well, he's missed a combo and it's gone safe. Now Larry can certainly he's probably going to try and keep the cue ball down this end, because it's dangerous to try and get the cue ball up the right hand side with that 6 ball being there. He could find a gap between the 9 and the 8, but he's only going to send the cue ball to the right, so he might want to try and check it up and hold it behind the 8 and 10, or get it really thin and find a gap. But this has got to be really thin though. Looking to get distance, but he doesn't want to expose the 2 to leave the cut, and it's going to find the gap. It's found a gap, and Cobra already thinking about how to deal with this 5 ball. Now, I mean, he's got a choice. If he gets there, I'll get my line sorted out. If he gets there, or like that line where he is just now, he can try and go across and around for the 5. If he falls short, he's got the 5 in the middle. If he goes longer, he's got the 5 in the corner. Or he finishes here and he plays the bank, something like that, maybe there. So that's the choices he has. He's trying to get around in behind the 7 and he hasn't got there. Or has he? Is there enough of that 5 showing? I think there is. I think there's enough for the cut. another couple of inches he would have been fine. But as I say, if he'd gone too far, he would have had it into that corner there, but he's just on the short side, but it will go. I think the 7's a good guide. He's hit the knuckle. Now this is where Larry knows he has to take this out. He has to punish the error. He has to take all of these. And so does Cobra for that matter, because if Cobra gets too loose, either of them will run away. Let's be honest. He's checked it to bring it back up the middle of the table. If he'd left it go, it would have just went up towards the 8 and 10 there. And now anywhere in the middle of the table is where he wants to be. And ideally, now let's see how tight that is. That's a bit too tight to be trying to get on that 8 for that pocket. So I think there'll be another way of getting to this 8. Let's see what he does. Well, he's gone pretty straight, and I think he may well just go for the draw. And if he overhits it, he's going to have no shot. He's got to get the draw right here. I think the pace is good. That's perfect. He can just run into the 10 or maybe even brush past it, but it doesn't matter. He's played a good draw shot there. Good control. And the HUD's disappeared. Right mouse click. Well, this is important even early on in the match, that Cobra's made a mistake and Larry's punished it. So it does send out the message to Cobra. So a reminder to anybody who's just joined, we've got this match on the one-loss side. In 35 minutes there's another match scheduled on the one-loss side, which is between LS3 and Bedhead. And well, the intention is, if this match finishes around the hour or so, we'll join the Bedhead LS3 match to see how things are going there, and then at 8:30 we'll be heading over to watch Stubb against Semi-Pro on the winner's side, race to 14, and that starts in an hour and 5 minutes time or thereabouts. Meanwhile, we're into rack number 4. Larry's leading 2-1, and is Cobra going to take that combo? I think he probably will. I mean, it's too big an invitation not to, I don't think. And if he gets it and stays on the 1, he'll be looking to run out. And this will be a good idea how Cobra's thinking here, whether he goes for this or not, because it's not a difficult combo. I mean, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get this in. But I don't think he called a crossbank there in the 1 ball. I think he's doing this to confuse me, just to play a safety. He may well be cross banking the 1 and running up and down the table. Yeah. And that's why you play the safety. Cobra up to his old tricks again, and he's got an excellent safety. Well, it was inviting, but it's maybe a good idea. You know, it's a good. It gives you an idea how the player's thinking, because it wasn't a difficult combo. Was Cobra going to be aggressive to have a go at it? not in your life. He wasn't going to be enticed into it at all. Like I say, why play those sort of shots when there's a good chance of getting cover? And he's played pinpoint accuracy for the safety. Yeah, you're never guaranteed the position. That's why when you play shots like that, I mean, let's be honest, Stubb would have took that on. Stubb would have took that on and relied on luck and getting in the next ball. I don't think he would have turned it down. Well, Larry's called the one, and in it goes. Excellent kick, but he's going to have to dig out a toughie here, because this 2-ball is not easy. But Larry's been reading the diamonds and got it nailed, and this 2-ball's off the rail. Larry doesn't like the 2. He's nailed to the left rail and the 2-ball's pretty close to the right rail, and he doesn't fancy it, because he's going to have some tough job of getting anything on this 3-ball. I think he'll just be glad if he can get this in the pocket. Yeah, he's not going to risk it. The wise shot to play, no chance of getting on the 3. And we're going to see something similar here maybe from Cobra. He's going to have to push that forward slightly. This shot here that he's maybe thinking on, he maybe has to push that slightly forward but thin, so that he can run and get down here and send that 2-ball down that direction a bit. He doesn't want to be just cross banking it. So we'll see if that's what he plays. I'm looking to see where he's calling a pocket, but he's only, well, he's now calling the 4-ball, but he's doing this to make a fool of me. I know what he's going to do. He's going to do what I said. Just watch the 2-ball. He's got to push it slightly to make sure it goes out into the table and he gets the length on this cue ball. Yeah, he's called the 4, but don't pay any attention to the 4-ball. Well, he's now made his mind up and he's now seriously thinking about it. And he's got it, and the 2's gone in, which is the worst outcome because he can't get to the 3. So it's worked in his favour and it's backfired at the same time. So now he's got to look for the safety. And, well, it's thin on the right edge, very thin, and just get distance. As thin as you can get this. But if he gets it too thin, he could end up kick behind it. Yeah, that will do. And now Larry has a toughie. These are tough. And it's off the rail. Is he going to be enticed into doing it? Does he see any other option available? I think he'll go for the cut, to be honest. Yeah, he certainly got them clean, but he wanted that 2-ball to stay up. Larry's pushed it to the rail big time, and that's, well, the first real mistake by Larry. So they're 1-1 as far as those go. And is it going to be the same result? Is Cobra going to punish Larry? Well, in all honesty, he should do. He'll come down the inside of that 8-ball if he puts a bit of inside on it. No, he's yep, he has. And he's just, well, he's just gone a wee bit further than he would have liked, but again he can do the same thing, a wee bit inside right, pot the 5, just let the cue ball run into the rail and it'll spin back towards the 10-ball. Well, he's gone squarish, which is leaving himself high. So now he's got to be really delicate. He should have came more near the inside of the 10 with that. I don't think he wanted to risk putting too much on it, so he just got to pot it gentle. Well, this match has now been going half an hour, and we're just about to finish the fourth rack. And we should be all square with Cobra breaking. So now he broke from the left diamond the last time. Let's see if he keeps doing the same thing. Yep, left diamond. Oh, that cue ball was scratching there. It's been kept on the table and the break's dry, and Larry with no shot, so has to work out a good safety here. Now this is a bit awkward. I think he's just going to bank it behind the 9, send it up towards the 6. I don't know what Larry sees. He hasn't called a pocket or anything, so he's trying to bank it up and down and hide. I think he's okay. Cobra can see the 1 but can't pot it. Now with this shot, the danger is actually running into the 7, which is what he doesn't want to do. He wants to see if he can sneak past the 7 and bank this 1 back up the table, but I don't know whether he... Well, I think he can see enough to do that, but he doesn't really have many more options from where he's sitting. Well, he said he's not looking at cutting this, is he? Because if he did that, he'd definitely run into the 7. Well, he has run into the 7, and the 1 ball is well, you could say reasonably safe. Now Larry can try and drop in behind the 10 here and send a 1 over to the 9 and 6. That would be the shot. And the 10 ball's a good target because it's off the rail. It allows him to try and nestle the cue ball in behind it if he gets the pace right. It's going to sneak out, but he's okay. Now is Cobra going to go for the cut, or is he just going to skim off that right side just a feather and well, I don't think he's going to get a lot of cover, but he'd be unlucky if he left a pot on if he gets this light enough. Just a graze on this 1 ball is what he's looking for. And that's pretty much a graze. That will do nicely. That's perfect. Now, how does it look from Larry's side? Well, it's not a problem because he can actually just spin off the rail, chip the 1 towards the 6, and the cue ball's going over to the left, so he's not going to do any damage. Pretty reasonable enough shot to be playing. Just again, same thing, just wants to graze the 1 and no more. He doesn't want to hit this thick because he wants the cue ball away from there, and once again that will do. Now this one is a wee bit more sticky, and Cobra this time fancies the bank, because trying to escape behind that 5 ball's dangerous, and there's not really much room to manoeuvre at this end of the table where the 6 and 9 is, so he's going to go for the bank. And it goes, and well, as long as he doesn't drop behind the 10 and do something silly like that, I don't think he will though. The worst that's going to happen is he's probably going to run into it. He should be out. He's avoided it. Well, this is already no miss pull. Larry left the possibility of the bank off his safety shot. Of course, he didn't have many options, Larry. He couldn't really create anything from his shot. It was just a matter of being able to hit it, and left enough there to entice Cobra into taking the bank, and he looks very likely that he's going to be rewarded for that. Although wrong side of the 4, so he's going to have to go up and down. Needs to keep going just to be able to drop this in. I think he's fine. Nice and gentle. He could have done maybe another 3 or 4 inches down to the left just to make it really simple. He's just got to be careful. It's all about just dead weight touch. Now Cobra, I think we've lost. He has definitely left the building. Cobra had a problem like this the other time as well. He had connection problems. Oh, and I've been kicked out of the room. How about that one? In fact, there's more than me being kicked out of the room. Larry's sitting there. Is this Steve messing about with the bloody game again? Don't tell me I can't get back in the room. Don't start with that routine. Oh, this is, I'm going to have to kill the game probably. Alright, I'm in, thank God for that. Now Cobra has gone, but it wasn't Cobra's fault this time. So that was weird. I thought Cobra's lost his connection. I don't know what well, mind you, you guys were seeing exactly what I'm seeing obviously, but when Cobra disappeared I thought, right, that's him, he's gone, and then the next thing I know I'm in the lobby. And Cobra has definitely gone. I don't know whether it was a bit of a coincidence or not, but he has definitely gone out of EP4, whereas I just ended up back in the lobby. And hopefully he's not trying to reconnect too quickly, because you end up getting that, what do you call it, that message comes up if you try too quickly before it's sort of cleaned out the system. And that's what he's probably trying to do right now. He's probably desperately trying to get back in. Right, so we're all here. In fact, we're waiting on Larry getting back in. Right, I think we're okay. Although Cobra's going to have to play a shot again. Yeah. Well, I don't think Cobra realises that we all get booted at the same time. What, you mean Cobra caused VP4 to go down? Yep, and Cobra's noticed the fact that he has to repot the 5 again. It just depends on how the server actually saves it once it knows there's an event happening. So he's going to get another go. Now, according to this, it says we're waiting for Larry, but in fact, now there's something weird going on here, guys. Yeah, Larry has now finally arrived into the room. Now, Larry's now recovered. I think we're good to go. Cobra's hit that too heavy this time. See how well he played it the first time round. He's now left himself way out on this 6-ball, but it shouldn't be a problem just to go back across the table. And the thing is that Larry on his end might not have seen Cobra playing those shots, whereas I did, and leaving him. See that the first attempt he had at that 5-ball into the middle was perfect. The second attempt hit it too hard, left himself awkward in the 6, and this could be a bonus for Larry. That might have unsettled Cobra, because Larry should have been trailing, and he's got a gilt edge opportunity here to pinch the rack. I think most players that get disconnected during a match of any description, when they come back in, they usually end up playing the shot they've just played anyway. That's what generally happens. But we seem to be back in business here. I wonder if Steve can explain why VP4 did that, whether it was anything down to him or whether it was just something that the server did. It's not exactly what you want to happen during a tournament. Anyway, back to business. Larry with just these two to take the lead. No, it's weird that it's happened, but perhaps he could explain what happened. That'd be a better outcome, so that we know what's happened. Because it happens on a sort of regular basis, that if you're here often enough, all of a sudden people are disappeared out of the game or kicked back to the lobby. And Cobra isn't happy. But like I say, he's not happy at the fact he had to play his shot again, but having to play the shot again and then cock it up as bad as that, then he's only himself to blame. Hit that 5-ball too hard. And then of course he left himself too high an angle in the 6, and that's what caused the mistake. So he has to forget all about it and get on with it, because there's a match to be won. Now wait a minute here, guys, wait a minute. Larry's won the rack, right? And Larry's breaking. Now wait a wee second here. Larry's broke off after having won the rack, and he's come up dry. Right, I thought I was out of sync. I'm getting confused myself. Now, I don't know what Larry's played there, but I'm worried that I'm out of sync. I'm going to leave the room and come back in. Hang on. Right. Well. Right, we're back in business now, because I think things were a bit weird there. Well, they're playing very cagey, Moz. So they are. This is, I mean, remember this match started, what, 45 minutes ago, and we're only into the 6th rack, so the first rack took about 14 minutes, so it's been really edgy stuff, and that is a very good safety. And Larry in dire straits here. Well, he's had a go at hitting the 2, and the reason he did is because the 7 and the 10 are tied up. That's the main reason he had a go at that, because any other occasion he would have been probably trying to lock a ball up. We've also got the 4-9 set there in the rail, so it's not going to be an easy run out. But Cobra's going to get first go at it, trailing by 3 racks to 2. Now, a quick reminder, we've got a match starting in 10 minutes time, and that's a match on the one-loss side between LS3 and Bedhead, which we're probably not going to see much of at all. We're going to stick with this, and then we also have the match between Cobra and Stub, and that's due at 1/2 the hour, so another 40 minutes to go, and I think this match will still be going on by then, the way it's going. So the 9 has been called. Did I say Cobra? Oh, my brain's shutting down. Remember, guys, have some sympathy with me. Aye, Semi and Stub. I'm not listening to what I'm saying. That's the problem at this time of night. God knows what it'll be like when that match starts. It's the old brain shutting down. You'll get to that stage at some point in your life. Well, there's a crucial shot coming up here in a second or two. Is he going to leave the bank on the 7, or is he going to try and break it out? Because it ain't going anywhere at the moment. There's nothing happening there. He's tried to break out. He's going to be locked up, and Larry will be salivating right now with a 3-2 lead, and Cobra locked up behind the 7. And could he have the chance? Well, he's going for the kick. Middle pocket called, and he's way off it. So Larry has ball in hand for the first break really of the match to give him a 2-rack lead. Well, the first bit of advice here for Larry is don't finish high on the 7. When I say high, don't finish at an angle that's taking you towards the 10. You want to finish an angle lower that's taking you away from the 10, so that you can get across. Well, he's gone a wee bit squarer than I would have liked, but that's the general idea. That's where you want to be, because you want to make sure you're going to get right over for this 8 ball and take the 10 out of the equation. But that's not perfect. And that's him back in prime position. Pot the 8. Don't do anything with English in the cue ball. Maybe a wee feather alright, but nothing much more, just to get maybe 1-2 rails into the table. Oh goodness me, Larry, what the hell was that? What the hell was that shot there? That is a choker and a half, that one, on that 8 ball. I mean, am I out of sync again here? I mean, it's that bad. I'm thinking I'm out of sync. That's the worst shot of the night. The worst shot we'll see tonight, I think, that shot right there, with a chance for a 4-2 lead, and he's having to call the bank. but he really chickened out in that one. Well, I'll tell you, I'll still stick by it. That just required a wee bit of help and spin, not much, but enough pace to get out, and he's called the bank in the middle, and it's a 4-2 lead that's gone. It's been thrown out the window. Now, is that rack going to be vital in this match? Because there's never in a month of Sundays would you ever expect Larry to cock up a pot in an 8-ball where all you have to do is let the cue ball run to the bottom rail, side rail, out into the middle of the table, into a wilderness of space to pot the 10. And that's a disaster. I mean, it sounds dramatic, but it is a disaster. It was 4-2 on the board. And he will be kicking himself big time. And of course, Cobra has broke. Ball in the break, the 2-ball has gone, but for Larry's sake, he's not got a shot. But that was sacrilege. That was a cardinal sin of pool that Larry's just broke there. Don't play a numpty shot when you've only got the 8 and 9 to play, or the 8 and 10, sorry. But my goodness me, that was straight out the top drawer of numpty shots. 100%. But anyway, the 4-2 lead that was there on the board has withered and died on one careless shot. Now, how's that going to affect Larry? Well, he's certainly going to have to get through with his stroke to play the shot, and he didn't do it in that one. That's where caution and touch didn't marry up. Well, that's okay, but Cobra can skim the one, get it somewhere behind his 6 and 8 if he can, and he can go to the long grass with the cue ball down the bottom of the table here. That's the plan, as long as he doesn't get the double kiss. Got to be careful with that one. And that will do. That's a pretty good shot. Now the danger again with this shot is Larry can't send it to the right. The danger is hitting that 7. Oops, I bumped my mouse mat there. Well, it's hard to judge whether that could be a shot to nothing or not, that 1 ball. There might not be enough of it shown, but he can certainly get it safe. He play the same shot, cut it to the side rail, it finishes in the top rail, the cue ball comes down between the 5 and 8. Well, he's gone all out for the pot there, and he's broke out the 3. Well, he's made it a wee bit more accessible, but Larry is poker straight on this 1 ball. Absolutely poker straight. He's gonna have to try and pinch a wee bit here. That's what he's doing, just moving the cue stick to pinch a bit. Well, he's decided he's going to draw now. Well, good luck with this. I think he's overcooked it. Yeah, and he's got himself in trouble again. Well, the 4 ball goes anyway, so he's not doing any harm if he breaks the 4 ball, because it's going to pot. But he's going to try and find a way to hit this 3. Ideally, he wants to hit this full in the face and punch it up the table. I'd be hitting this fairly firm and hoping. I don't think you can gently play this shot and get it safe. That's going to come down. Well, from on the cusp of having a 4 racks to 2 lead, there's a strong possibility here that Larry's looking at falling behind. I wonder, I'll be interested to hear what Larry's excuse was for that shot in that 8 ball. Well, I think Cobra here will just follow through. You have 3 new messages, Hugh. 3 new messages where? What is that? Are you talking about proposals, Tin? I'll look at them tomorrow when I get home. Good evening. Well, we've got a tense match here between Larry and Cobra. Cobra's made his 2 or 3 mistakes, but Larry's made the biggest one of the day for a player of his standard. Where's that cue ball? Had the table at his mercy. Drop in the 8 in the bottom right hand corner, spin the cue ball out for the 10 into the same pocket, and he underhit that by the country mile. And I still say that could come back to haunt him in this match. So we are rapidly approaching the top of the hour. We're about a minute and a half away from Bedhead's match starting with LS3. Well, here's the crucial shot, getting on the 9, and that 10 ball is a bit of an annoyance. That's what it does by sitting there. And the angle on this 8 is not ideal either. It's just a wee bit too much than what you would like. Oh, where's the cue ball going? It's okay. By the way, Tin, are you there? Wake up, Tin. Yeah, we know that, but you know that Stubb was in here at 7 o'clock, Tin, when this match started. So that shows you Stubb could have been here all the time to get that match started earlier. Well, he was. Just ask Miasma. Miasma was here at the same time. So that just shows you how much pissing about he did last night, wasting time, messing semi-pro about. He could have started it earlier. It would have helped me, not that it matters about me, but I'm still going to stream it. I'll just end up going to my bed too late. No, we're not going to have another straight pull. We've had 2 10 balls before we had we haven't had a proper 9-ball world championship. 9-ball masters isn't a world championship. Bullshit. You were still here. Excuse me. Well, it took you an hour or so to think about that excuse there, by the way, Stub. Well, Cobra has got himself out of shape. Oh, that's asking for serious brain damage, that game, billiards, over the full distance. Goodness me, no. I don't think I could suffer one match of that, let alone a tournament of it. Well, the 9 is not set. Nothing's been called. Larry is just eyeing up, skimming off the 4, which he has done, but he hasn't got cover. He needed to get further over the table. Now that is that would be a good tournament, I have to say. One pocket. But that's like cricket. That's for the connoisseurs. One pocket, because that's like chess on a pool table. That game. But I don't think. I think there'll be an awful lot of people, if they signed up for that, would very quickly find their way out their depth to play that game. Yeah, one pocket would draw. It would draw a few players, but like I say, it would draw others who would sign up for the hell of it. But they would get hammered, literally ripped apart in that game. Because the one thing about one pocket is, not only do you need a lot of good strategy, you need to be able to execute certain types of shots, and there'd be far too many players, myself included, found wanting as far as that game goes. But there are some excellent one pocket players in VP4. I think, what about Honolulu? There's a game that would entice a lot of people to play. There's another one, Cribbage. It's a great game. Games that are, Honolulu is a game where you need an awful lot of imagination sometimes to create shots, see shots that other folk might not see. Well, I think one pocket slim would fancy a go at that. Yeah, that's the thing about one pocket. Yep, it can develop into a grueling battle. Right, well, how about going from one extreme to the other then, Tin? How about having a 3-ball World Championship? There you go. Everyone's a winner. Every man and his dog signs up to that. The winner's side a race to 25, and the loser's side a race to 20, and the final a race to 50. There you go, get it set up. Every numpty whoever wants to play would play in that. That's just a bang bang. Thank you, ma'am. Let's go on with the next rack. A race to 25 over in half an hour. There you go. No, that's you taking it to the really extreme there, semi-pro. You're letting your imagination take you away there. 3-ball with a 5-second shot clock. Yep. Race to 25, race to 20 and a race to 50 in the final. There you go. 5 minutes to set that up. Now UK pub would bring a few people in, or blackball. That's a thing we haven't had for a while. We haven't had a proper toy table tournament. Yep, I think blackball or that would be a favourite, or pub, one of the pub games. There's about 4 different versions of that. Moz, nah, none of that UK rubbish. They're the Texas cowboys speaking. Oh, that's a game with strategy. Now, I love a good strategic game. I love a good bit of tactics. Now, Larry hasn't called the bank, so that'll be the missed call. And Larry will be in trouble in a second or two here, because that 2 ball should be getting banked in towards the 5 and the 8, and the cue ball way up the table. Or is he thinking to bring the cue ball to the 7 and 8? I think heading the cue ball up the table would be far easier. Oh, that's good. Well, Larry can kick this no problem. I think if he looks to just brush onto the 2, he'll be in trouble again. But I don't think he's not got many options here, Larry. Well, the other match with LS3 and Bedhead should be underway, and that's a good shot. In fact, it's not. He's actually not hit the rail after hitting the object ball. And there's a combo in the 8. That's a definite. But just a reminder for anybody who's late arriving, Larry should have been 4-2 up 5 minutes ago, and he's now finding himself 5-3 behind. So the gap's gone the other way with that really poorly executed shot in that 8 ball. It's going to haunt him all night, especially now Cobra's got the 2-rack lead. Oh, he's hung the 2. Now, the reason that happened is he's putting draw on it with bottom and left to get up for the 3, and that's just set that 2 ball offline into the jaws. Well, this is not an easy rack at all to try and run out. There's nothing here in good shape really. The 4 balls hidden away in amongst the cluster. And not only that, it's potting the 3 and getting anywhere near the 4. Well, he's taking a big risk, and it might have worked out. He's on the 3. He needs to draw off the 3. And again, that 7 ball is the hindrance. He needs to get in the gap between the 7 and the 5. He's got the angle to do it. And already this is an important visit for Larry. Having taken the risk, he's got the reward. He's managed to improve the state of the table, but can he keep it together to take this out? And he's just gone too far, but he had to make sure he wasn't blocked out by the 7, but he's too far now for this 4 ball. He's running away up the table from the 5, and well, I think he's got to go all out. Oh, Sylvia's the best female player, definitely. years more experience in LS3 in virtual pool. Decades, as a matter of fact. Well, I think Larry's got to go the whole hog here, all the way around the table. This will be a good shot. Oh, well, he's found the middle pocket, and that's another disaster. And he's staring 6-3 right in the face now. And, well, it's all starting to go sour. It's all went sour from that 8 ball. And Cobra, well, he can either do the draw off the side rail, or he can go through and around. He's going through and around, the safest option. And how's he finished? Well, this is a wee bit awkward. He might have to just dig down here. He's a bit close to the rail. Does he fancy running through and around the angles? Yeah, he's digging down. Well, it's only a race to 10, remember, and Larry's in dire straits now, trailing by 3. And if Cobra gets the brake working in this next rack, well, if this match goes the way it's heading, I'm not going to ask Larry what he did with that 8 ball. Somebody else can ask him. Well, Cobra's broke off. The 1 ball's gone in, and no shot in the 2. But well, Larry's already at the stage where he's going to need some assistance here, and whatever chance he gets, he's simply going to have to take it out. But he's going to have to be able to see the 2 ball to do anything, and that's another good safety. Well, I don't know what you guys want to do. I'll leave it up to you guys that are watching. Do you want to stay with this match? Do you want to join the Stubb semi-pro match? Do you want to... What do you want to do? Because this match isn't going to be finished at 8:30. And Larry hitting and hoping. And he's okay, unless Cobra wants to call the 8 into the middle. Well, no ball has been called yet, so Cobra, I think, well, he's now making a choice. It's more than likely going to be the 8. Yeah, well, I think Bedhead will cruise through that match. Well, he's got the combo in the 8, but he's not got a shot in the 2. And there might be a glimmer of hope for Larry in this rack. Depends on the outcome of this attempted kick. on the 3, on the 2, sorry, not the 3. And he'll take that. 2 ball isn't going to cut from there. And the other problem is Larry's going to struggle to find a good safety here. Now is he going to try and run it into the rail, miss the 4 with the 2 ball and get it back up the table, because that is very, very dodgy. Yeah, that's what he's tried, and he's more or less got away with it. Not a difficult shot to hit, but I think there's there's not enough of the 2 showing to do anything other than have a kick at it. But Cobra's called a pocket. Has he called the right middle? Yes, he has, and almost got it. Larry's got the shot. He's pretty straight. It's a draw. A draw once again into a narrow gap to get on this 3. Well, he's looking at going forward now, I think. Yeah. Well, it's going to have to be the 3-4 combo then if he's going that way. And he's going too far. Well, he should just be nailing the cue ball to the 7. I don't think he'll be doing much else. He's not going to play the combo, surely. Got to. Well, he's lining it up. This has got to go. I would have pushed through in the 7. It's a high risk shot if he's going to play it. Or is he playing the billiard? What's he doing? Let's have a look. Yeah, he's went for it. And he's got it. And now he's got to take it out. A brave shot. He's going too far again. That mouse, way too heavy. I mean, that's 1.5 foot to 2 feet too far up the table, and he's got no shot. And that is way, way out of line. And after doing all the hard work there with that combo that I wouldn't have taken on, I would have chickened out of that well before, not even looked at it. But now he's found himself in a hole. Oh, this is going to be painful, because there's a cut onto the 10. And does Cobra want to risk it? I mean, he can still play the safety, but he can call the 10 at the same time, because he can get distance with the cue ball, and I'm surprised he hasn't called the 10 yet. I swear to God, don't get me started on that mouse. If he's still using that mouse, then I'm telling you, that's 90% of the problems with shots like that. And also that 8 ball that he made a complete hash of. But Cobra not interested in taking on the combo, much more interested in playing a decent safety, and again he's done the right thing and he's got the reward. He's played a very good safety, and Larry, well, I don't think he's got much available here other than cutting that towards that corner and running the cue ball around. He's just going to have to try and miss the 6 and let the cue ball run around the table and hopefully for his sake that 5 ball ends up in the top rail, but I don't think it will. I think the 5 will be exposed. He doesn't have any other option. No, he hasn't called a pocket. Well, that's ended up a lot better than I thought. He's played it well. That is not bad. But it's a simple enough safety for Cobra if you can get it thin, and his target is up by that 6 ball. But he hasn't hit it, but he's still got the cover. There's Cobra apologising. Get rid of this apology crap. I ain't interested in it. That's all part of the game. Now Larry looking, well, if he plays it gentle enough and he hits it half ball, he's only going to push it to the side rail. But he obviously has to hit a rail, remember. He's spinning into it, so he's looking to punch it up the table. And it needs to be blocked by the 6. And it has done. And that is actually pretty good. 5 ball won't go. But the safety's there again. Push it that way. Well, he's trying to use the 6. But he's left the 5 exposed. Now what does Larry do? It's dangerous to cut it. If he cuts it the right hand side of that 5 ball, he needs to get it so fine, and then spin the cue ball to get it around here, and that 5 ball's going to finish somewhere in there. He's looking to bank this, is he? Yep. It's all or nothing on the bank. Bottom left, bottom right hand corner. And it goes, and he's got a shot in the 6. Got that flush. How good is he going to be on this 7? I mean, you want to just draw off this 6, but if you, I don't think he can get into it that much that he can draw it into the middle pocket. He can go forward and around, but he's going to be hampered near that 9 if he does that. So he's played the little draw, and that was heading towards the pocket, so he's got the pace right this time. The draw was always taking it near that pocket. And well, we've got 5 minutes exactly until Stub and Semi Pro go at it. In the winner's side, race to 14. And this match has already been on for an hour and 25 or thereabouts, give or take a minute. Well, this is a test of the nerves, just to get flush on the edge of that 10. But this to get back to within 2. And with the break, now where's Larry going to break from? Is he going to go centre? Well, just slightly off centre. And what's the result going to be? 4 ball thought about it, and the 3 ball has gone, and Bedhead, well, he's going to cruise through. Larry's looking, I mean, it's dangerous to push that one near the 10 for a safety. And he can push, he's looking to push the one onto the end rail between the 7 and 5 ball. Well, that'll do it. More important thing, he's got the cover. Well, Cobra looking to go off the angles. Called the one into the right middle pocket just in case, but I don't think he can get far enough in behind the one to do that. But well, these are the chances that have got to be taken out. Every ball is on. Larry's got the reward for the good safety. And the problem, the immediate problem, is getting up to the 4 off this 2. It's right in the middle of the table. I mean, it's wide open, but it's not just getting on the 4 that matters, it's getting good on it to get good on that 5, because you have to be able to get out for the 6, and the 6 is only going into that corner pocket, so you've got to plan your way out here. Right, well, Semi's away, good luck. And that's what I'm talking about. Had to get good on this 4, and now he's got to cut it into the middle. He might have to take evasive action here. Is he going for the corner? What's he doing? It looks as if he's going for the corner to leave the long 5, but this is tough. This is the shots. You don't want to be leaving yourself in positions like this, and Larry's having to dig to try and take this rack out. Good shot in the 5. Where's the cue ball going? Oh dear. And he's perfect, believe it or not, in the 5, although he's at distance, but he can roll in, and he wants to make sure he hits that 8 ball at worst, but he wants to be up on the 6. If he just plays this gentle, he'll stay above the 8. Is that going to hold? No. And Larry's struggling just to keep shape here. And this is certainly on. But of course the cue ball's running. Now if he runs right, he'll be on the 7. But I think he might have to help it. Yeah, he's having to draw it. Well, when have you ever heard Stubbs saying that, Tin? Oh, he needs a wee lucky kiss, and he ain't got it. And the more you get out of line, and it all came about from that 2 to the 4. Remember what I said? The 4 right in the middle of the table, it all looks easy. You've got to get good on it. And Larry has been getting further and further out of shape, and forced into taking banks and everything to try and keep this run going, and all of a sudden I've got the hiccups again after having had a drink. I seem to get hiccups when I take a drink rather than getting hiccups and taking a drink to try and get rid of them. I don't know what it is, but you just cannot keep digging out shots. You're going to run out of them at some point, and that's way offline, and that might go into the middle. And Cobra now has a choice. Does he go all out for the cut, or does he give it to Larry? Well, he's not going to give it to Larry because Larry's going to go for it. So I don't think Cobra's got much of a choice other than either playing the safety or going for the cut. Well, unless Cobra's disconnected this time though. I think Cobra's gone. I don't think he's... Oh yes, here he has been thinking. And is he going all out for the cut? I think he is. Looks like it. And it goes. How's the pace in the cue ball? I think it's just going to get there. And no, it's going to be short. Well, Larry's got it back to within 2 racks, but right now it's on a knife edge, this rack, because the 10 ball is not sitting nice. And Cobra's got to think about that if he's going to go all out for this cut. Well, this has got to be clean all the way down the rail. And as the commentators say, we'll know it's in before the player knows it's in. And that's in every day of the week. What a shot. And the gap is now stretched to 3 again. And that all went wrong for Larry from that 2 ball onwards. Whereas it should have been a rack that was on the board for him. Not getting good in the 4 was the main root of the downfall eventually. And the break from Cobra gives him the 8 ball. No shot in the 1. Or is it? What's he thinking? He's pushing to use the 2 balls as cover. He's overhit it. Now when's Larry going to feel he's at the point of no return? Because once he gets to that stage he'll just be going for whatever he sees. Because the 1 does cut. And he might already have made that decision. Nope. He's going for the safety. But he's hit it too hard and he's left the 1 on, and that is poor. Hit it way too hard and that 1 will roll into the middle pocket. And it's going to have to be a 4-5 if this run is going to continue. Well, that's the second worst safety shot of the night. Well, the second worst shot by Larry tonight. That 8 ball is by far and away the worst one, but that one there is a safety. All went wrong. And provided Cobra can get reasonably straight in this 4-5, he should be okay, and I don't think there's much of a problem with that though. But this might be, as the saying goes, the straw that broke the camel's back, because it might be too much for Larry to come back at this stage. So the Stub semi-pro match underway. Well, it's gone awkward. He's right over the 7, the worst place you could possibly put the cue ball, and I think he can really do nothing more than actually still go for this combo. Now, how many have left the stream and went to watch the Stub semi-pro match, I wonder? Come on, admit it. How many have ran out the door? Or are you all glued to your seats to see what's going to happen here? Because we could be here, I mean, if this goes the other way, we could be here another hour and a half yet. Cue ball. Oh, look at this. Well, Larry, he needs anything but that. He can't get to the 4. I mean, he's just going to have to, he's got to hit a rail, remember, so he's going to have to blast this and just hope. I can't see how he's going to get this safe, because that 10 ball's just stopping the 4 ball going anywhere. Well, he's called the 10. Well, that means he's trying to spin right in behind the 4. And that's all went disastrously wrong. Well, that's probably tops the last safety shot that went wrong. And it's now turning into a nightmare for Larry, because Cobra with ball in hand, just going to have to work the cue ball a wee bit here though, because he's a bit straight in the 5, but it'd be unlikely he can't get on the 6. Well, he's content to leave it at distance, but it's looking likely, very likely, that it's going to be 8-4 and virtually the point of no return. Well, there's been a couple of howlers tonight for Larry, but really I still say that from that point onwards, from that 8 ball, it has all gone wrong. Safety shots that have gone wrong. The last one there, the scratch, and Cobra just doing the business with a comfortable lead, and all the pressure on Larry, and it is a tall order now to survive. I'm trying to remember all the mistakes Cobra's made. Somebody can maybe point me in the right direction, but I don't remember anything major. But Cobra breaks off, break is dry, push out played. Larry can wait a minute here, what happened there? Was the push passed? Oh no, it was Larry that pushed out. What am I talking about? Cobra broke, the brake was dry, Larry's pushed out, right. So Cobra can play or pass it back. That doesn't surprise me. Not in the least little bit. And I bet you if you go to that, what is it, Playgrounds, what is it, that PUBG, what do you call that game, that shooting game, there'll be thousands playing it as well, that multiplayer game. And that Fortnite as well, there'll be thousands and thousands playing that as well as the thousands watching it. Well, Larry at the table. think it's going out all guns blazing here at the moment. I'm going to have a wee drink. Where's my bottle went to? Oh, there's a huge area to go on this 5. Around the angles and out. Well, I think that'll be the first whitewash of the tournament if it goes that way. All depends on whether Bedhead's in a charitable mood, but from what I saw the other night, he wasn't. Well, thinking ahead here, he wants to be playing this 8 ball from there so that he's got an angle to get out, and if he can get high enough up in the 9, it makes it easier just to drop onto the 10. He doesn't want to be straight. I think is he going to draw back or is he going to go forward? He could have done me a bit more angle to go forward. Well, he's deciding to leave the 9 long to drop across for the 10. He would have probably played the shot I was talking about if he had a better angle, but he's now potting into a slightly blind pocket in this 9 ball. But in it goes. But Larry is getting one back now. This is where the break has to start working for him right now. He has to get a ball and a shot, and he has to run out, really. If he does that now, he's still got a chance. Where's the 2 ball going? Well, that 9 ball's done it because it would have went in. And but for that, the break is dry. And Larry's still struggling to get a ball and a shot. And it's just continuing on from a 0. That match, he couldn't get anything in that match. The only saving grace is he hasn't left Cobra a shot. Cobra trying to tuck in behind the 4, but it doesn't matter as far as Larry's concerned. He's at the table with ball in hand, and of course he's got problems ahead. The 3 balls locked up, and Larry can certainly pot the 1, go on the 2 and try and break that 3, or can he just drop the 2 in, which is what he's thinking of, and getting the cue ball into here for the 3 in the middle. And that might be the shot to play, because it can guarantee he can pot the 3. We know it pots. He just needs to be able to have the angle in this 2, and he's got the angle, but he has to get in here. If he finishes short, he'll have no shot to that top pocket, so he needs to get right in here. Or is he going to come back? Well, you see what the problem is. He's running into the 7. Now what does he do? Well, it's all out for the middle pocket, I think. Looks like it. Good shot, and it goes, and he simply now has to take it out. Any other day of the week, this would be already marked on the board. Now is it just a gentle roll in, or is he going to stun out? No, just a roll in. And the handy thing as well is that the 9 and the 10 are adjacent to one another, so that means you've got a lot less to do with the cue ball when you pot the 9. So it's a good table to run out. Well, Larry broke in this rack, didn't get any joy, but he still may well be getting it on the board and getting back to within 2. Well, all the room you could ever want to get on this 8 ball, but anything but straight needs an angle. And it's more than likely that if he gets himself over here, he could be potting the 9 and out for the 10. And he's gone straight, so he may well have to just pinch a bit. In fact, not even risk that, and just end up having to roll through in this 9 ball. This is still a wee bit dodgy. Yeah, that's all he could do. Well, now with this, he's got to go forward. Forward and around. Just straight through with the shot, and he's got to be over on the right hand side for the 10 ball into the same pocket. But he needs to make sure he gets through enough. You see, he's not getting into that enough. He wanted to be up here. I mean, he's a foot short and he's left the cut again. Always a tester, a nervy one that you could do without, especially right on the rail. And in it goes. Now Larry's got another bite at the cherry. He's got another break. He's breaking from the same position, off centre, which I think what Cobra was doing earlier on, but he's trying the other side. But needs a ball and a shot. He's just not getting them. And the 1 ball's going in, and I think he moved that. I don't know whether he looked to see that the rack was tilted there, but he moved it to the right hand side when he saw the rack was tilted to the right. And the 1 ball's going in. But unfortunately for him, he's got no great shot in the 2. 2 ball isn't going anywhere. Is he trying to drop behind the 3? This is dangerous if he's doing that, because if it doesn't, he's leaving the 2 on, so I don't think that'll be the shot. It'd be far too risky. It's easier to bank the 2 towards the 4. Well, I think he's left it on. I think it's crept out enough. There's enough of the edge to cut that in. That was dangerous. I still think he should have banked that 2 over to here so he could get the cue ball down here. It was such a narrow window to keep that 2 ball hidden, and there's just enough of the edge come out, and it's left Cobra with a pretty easy run out. I mean, the problem is going to be the 5 to the 6, because the problem there is the 6 only getting into the 1 pocket. He doesn't have to do anything to get on the 4, so it's 5 to 6 that's going to decide this rack. And Cobra, I don't know whether he's enough angle, he might be too straight. Yeah, he's just too straight, so he can only just roll through. Stun it off the rail and across. So this is a clincher for this rack. Well, this match started at 7 PM and it's gone 10 minutes to 9, so this is certainly probably the longest race to 10 match in this tournament. But Cobra within a few balls. If he misses a 9, if he missed a 9, he would have been on it. And don't tell me there's enough of the 6 shown to cut that. There certainly is. I think he'll be going for it. Well, she got on the board, so Bedhead was a bit generous in the end. But this cut on the 6, and he's got to hit it. Cue ball will be running up and down. Well, he didn't play it, or he's got it all wrong. Has he gone far enough to cover the edge of that 6? I don't think so. Well, Larry, I think he can, or can he, or can't he? Maybe he can't. He's certainly not lining up as if he's trying to cut it. Well, he can only then either punch it up the table and hopefully it comes down here somewhere and he leaves the cue ball somewhere behind the 9. Well, the cue ball has got away and the 6 ball is exposed, and it's looking likely now that Cobra's heading to the hill. Now there's a statement I'd never thought I'd hear Bedhead saying. Can't cut that. I never ever thought I'd hear. I never ever thought I'd see him type that. Well, hopefully Semi-Pro's got stub muted. What does that say? Something King, Sag King. I don't know what the hell that says. What's miasma typing there? Sad King of something. Anyway, if Semi-Pro's done the right thing, he'll already have had him muted, so there shouldn't be any banter between the two of them. Well, that must mean that Semi-Pro's won another rack then, if Stubb's kicking up a fuss. But anyway, back to this match. Well, Larry sort of got himself back into it a wee bit there, but he's now at the point of no return. And it is a way too tall an order for things to turn so quickly on its head for Larry to take this out now. But Larry has made the big mistakes in the match. It's safe to say that. That's not a wrong assumption. I've sat and watched him. safety shots that haven't gone, and well, that 8 ball that he played to get on the 10 was the worst one of the night. Meanwhile, Cobra has broke off in the rack that he needs, leads by 9 racks to 6. The 8 ball has gone, no shot in the 1, but he should have a pretty good safety here in a second or two. Well, for once he's left the 1 exposed. Well, this is all or nothing now. 6 ball goes, 3 ball doesn't, so it's not a rack to be run out. Well, he's got the angle on the 2 to run into this 3 ball. He's going to have to try and create something here. Like I say, it's all or nothing now, so he might as well have a go. There's no point in looking for safeties. He's at the table with a chance to run out, and he has to make it happen, so he's only going to do that by getting into that 3 ball and running into the 6 and 7 or something, and then getting lucky. That's what you have to do. He's trying to drop into them and he's scratched. He was trying to use the 6 and 7 to hold for the 3, and I think that about sums up Larry's night, because he's had safeties that have ended up disastrous, and that shot there I think sums a whole show up. It's been a nightmare from that 8 ball. I said it wasn't looking good from there, and I predicted right, because it's all went downhill big time. And if you never saw that shot on that 8 ball to the 10, then you need to watch it in a replay, because you'll then realise how much that changed the match. He was at the brink of being 4-2 up, and then played an awful shot on that 8, and the outcome is that the only thing that's going to save him here is if Cobra can't improve this situation with this 6 ball. Can he get right onto the rail, and can he make the cut on it, or can he get something disturbed? Well, I think he tried to chip the 7, or does he think he can still pot this 6? I don't think he can. You'll need to convince me he can pot that. But if he can't, he might be trying to just chip it up the table, but he's not got much room to manoeuvre. Yeah, he's done the right thing. And now, now Larry could well be playing, or about to play, his last shot, because he's tight enough to the 7 that Larry can't get it. I don't think from the short side. He'd have to spin it around the 7 really close, like a mass 8, and he can get to it from the 9 ball side, and he can get it to from the bottom rail, but he's just got to do the usual, the old hit and hope. He's called that top right hand pocket just in case, but it's time to give it a blast, and it's time to just hope you get lucky. And he might get lucky. I think he might get okay. And then again, there might be enough of that 6-ball edge showing to play the cut. Maybe not enough. It's a bit, yeah, I think it's maybe just too thin that he's cutting it to the right side of that 7 as we look. Yep, he's hit the 10. I think he tried to pinch a wee bit there to try and make it, but well, Larry is going to survive this rack, I think, with ball in hand. Match has now been on for over 2 hours, and I think Larry liked it so much he decided to replay it. Or I think Larry was actually out his chair packing up his cue ready to go home. I don't think he could believe he's back at the table. What the hell's happened here? Eh? What the hell happened here? Larry had ball in hand, did he not? Aye, Cobra's confused as well. What the hell happened, guys? Larry says he hit the wrong key. Well, what the hell did he do? I thought he hit the replay. I think everybody in the chat is confused as well. He just rolled into a foul. But did Larry not have ball in hand? Cobra's the one that was trying to chip the... Alright, I'm totally baffled. That's another match I've been baffled by the finish of it. Well, that's strange. I'm going to have to watch this tomorrow when I get home from work. Anyway, Cobra is through by 10 racks to 6. That's the strangest ending. I mean, up to the point where Cobra was looking at the edge of the 6 to try and catch it. He skimmed the 10, so therefore there was the foul, and Larry had ball in hand. As to what happened after he had ball in hand, I am totally bewildered. I haven't got a clue. Well, I don't know. That's the thing, I haven't a clue. I thought, did he not just replay the shot? Did we not just watch the replay? And I'm saying Larry liked it so much he replayed it. And then everything that happened after that, I haven't a clue. Anyway, we'll worry about that tomorrow when I watch it in video. Let's go into the semi-pro stub match. And semi-pro leading. It wasn't a replay. Because it looked very much like... The thing is, was Larry paying attention? Cobra, tell me what happened at the end of that match there, because I don't think most of us have got a clue what happened. Larry must not have been looking at his monitor, didn't know that you had fouled the 10. I thought he played a replay. I haven't got a clue. Well, Stubb getting the kick. Yeah, when you say he pressed the wrong key, but did he not have ball in hand? Right. To me, it looked like a replay that he hit. So if he hit the replay, that meant it went back to you to play the same shot. I don't know. No, it was still his shot. If he played it as a replay, it was still his shot with ball in hand. Then what happened after that, I don't know. And if he said he pressed the wrong key, he pressed the S instead of M. So it wasn't a replay, but he didn't use ball in hand, did he? He didn't use ball in hand. I mean, I'm not out of sync so much that I didn't see him, that he didn't notice he had ball in hand, so obviously he wasn't paying attention. Again, that is a weird. That's even weirder than that 8-ball that he played to lead 4-2, because that had me baffled at the time. But the way that finished there, That is, yeah. Right, so he accidentally hit the ball when he should have been hitting the M to move the cue ball with ball in hand. So that explains it. That explains it. Well, we had already watched, and then that's the other thing, Cobra, I want to pull you up for. That first attempt you had on the 5 ball was perfect. You played it nice and light. Got yourself, I think it was a 6 ball next. That was nice, not a problem. And then, of course, with the disconnection, because you weren't the only one that got disconnected, I get booted to the lobby. Larry get booted. Everybody get more or less disconnected, and the server reset itself. Because all the names of the tournaments come back up on the screen, and then when the game restarted, it restarted from where the server saved it, so you had to play the shot again, and then you made a complete hash of the 5 ball, hitting it too hard, leaving yourself the high cut in the 6, and then missed the 6. Oh dear. Anyway, Stubb trailing by 2 racks to 5. And it's going to have to be the 7-10 combo. Well, that's what I said. I said that in commentary. I said you just have to accept it for what it is and get on with it. Well, server buggered about. Yeah, I mean it showed up the tournaments and stuff again. The what do you call it? The banners, they come back up on the screen, and that tells you it was doing something. Well, Stubb's not perfectly in line here. And he's got the combo. And back to within 2. With the break. Now he's breaking just offline. 6 ball goes into the middle. 3 ball goes in. Perfectly on the 1. 7 ball goes, this rack's over, because he can spin off the rail and across. Now you see what I mean about Stubb getting himself, I mean he's like a mile away from this 4 ball than he should be, and having to play long shots. It's his potting that keeps him in it, because his positional play is too loose. And that's broke out okay, because it could have went severely wrong there with that 8 ball. Now he needs to make sure he gets up to that middle pocket. Now this one is testy, because he's right on the rail. Only the top third of the cue ball showing, and really can't afford to try and do much with the cue ball other than come back across. He might even run into the 10 here. Well, he's avoided that, and he's perfect. So Stubb is going to be back to within 1. Well, this match started at 9 o'clock. We've played barely, not 9 o'clock, 8:30. We've played what, 41 minutes, and they've played 9 racks. Well, by the time 40 minutes was up in our match, that last match, I don't think we'd played 6 racks. But this time, stub with the brake has come up dry, and look at these balls. And these are the tables that when you come to the table, you know you've got to take it out. There's no excuse. Dry brake, shot to start you off, and there's nothing better than running it out. Well, he's got a slight angle, so no problem getting over for the 4. Again, the problems will start if he ends up too straight in this 4 ball. The question is whether he wants to come back for the 4 into the middle. That looks like the most sensible shot to play, is to actually come back for either the 4 in the middle or the 4 long, because it would make it a better guarantee of getting good in the 5. What's happened? Semi-pro falling asleep? Like me? Oh, something's gone wrong here. Yep, semi-pro's gone. Oh, I don't think semi-pro's disconnected in any matches I've seen him in. Now, was anybody watching this match from the start? Was Stubb missing and letting letting semi-pro in, or was semi-pro running out the table? How was it going? That's a good answer, Cobra. I didn't think you'd be playing as soon as that. And this is semi-pro will be having the same problem. He's disconnected, but he's trying to reconnect to VP4 too soon. Because VP4 will be taking a while to clear out before he can rejoin. It's not often that would happen on a Friday night, because this is like peak time, UK time. You still trying to get back in? There we go. Right, so as we were saying, the little draw, get away from the 9. Well, now this just makes it a wee bit more awkward. Now If he was just to roll this in, it's not going to be that good in the 5. He's going to have to... Is he going to miss the 5 though? This is a bit of a problem. Is he going to take it long? Yeah. And now it's all about controlling the pace again, because this is a tester. If he overdraws it, he's going to have the 6 in the middle, which seems the more likely shot. But no, he's running out. Well, should be on the 7. He overhits it. That 8 ball's dangerous. I sound like I'm blazing up. Well, there's what happens. He's now out of line. Still got the 7 into the middle, and in actual fact he'll run up past the 8, and he'll have the 8 back into this corner pocket, I would think. Well, he can't run into that 10, so drawing off the 8 and across for the 9. And this has got to be hit clean. Well, he's took the risk, and that was a shot that I wouldn't have played, because you know you're going to run into that 9 just playing it plain ball. You had to take the risk and draw off it, and now he's got away with it, because, well, he has got away with it slightly, but Stubbs going to kick that in. He should kick that in, and he's going to have to maybe make sure he doesn't hit this flush, because if he does, he may well stay in the corner and have no shot. So it's up and down. And he couldn't have played that any better. He's hit it perfect, because he's chipped to 8, which has brought the cue ball out. Although the cue ball is going to have to go up and down again. But these 2 balls to get the match back all square. Oh, he's trying to hold it. Well, this is risky. He'll expect to get it though. So we have a tied ball game, folks. Semi-Pro's lead has gone, and Stubb breaking again slightly to the right. But don't forget, Semi-Pro had first chance of running the table there, and it all messed up on the 7. Stubbs break dry. 6 and 9 locked up on the side rail. Well, it would just be lucky rolls that Semi was getting in according to Stubb. So there's no pocket been called. Oh, that's not a good one. He's tried to brush the 1 towards the 3, and he's left it open. But of course, Stubbs going to have to try and deal with the 6 and 9, which he tried there, but he's locked a 5 up onto the 6 instead, and he might try it again here, and he could end up, well, he's not got across. he was trying to get over there for the 4 or the 410 combo, and he's got neither, because that 4 went past the 10 and he's way short, big time. Now, is he playing the cut onto it, or is he playing the billiard onto the 10? So he's cutting this to the rail and the edge of the 10 at the same time. He might just be playing the safety, he might just be trying to fool me again. Well, he's going all out for it, and he's going to get lucky. Look at the cue ball. Well, there's a lucky roll. Well, semi-pro can see half of this 4 ball, but he certainly doesn't want to go near that 5 and 6. And that 4 will pop past the 10, and Stubb can see enough of the cue ball to take evasive action from scratching into the right middle pocket. Of course, the only advantage you would have in potting the 4 is that he's still at the table. He's going to have no shot in the 5. He hasn't called a combo in the 10 or anything like that, so the assumption is he's playing the pot. What's Potman saying? I've missed the chat. Is Larry there? Larry, well, I said I wouldn't ask you. What the hell were you doing with that 8 ball when you should have been 4-2 up? Tell me it was the mouse. Please tell me it was that crappy trackball mouse. And what's Potman's problem? Is Potman saying the stream isn't running right or something? You certainly did not. Big time. You don't want to listen to the commentary, by the way, Larry. Don't watch the replay, whatever you do. Semi says his game is stuttering. Yeah, I think a reboot's in order. I mean, if it was just the router that went down, because he was back on the stream before he was in VP4. Well, the cross bank called, and in goes the 5, and he's on the 6. I thought it was Potman that was having the trouble. Oh, semi-pro's gone again. Yeah, he should restart the PC, flush everything out. Well, he shouldn't have the bloody stream running at the same time. That's a bit numptish to be doing that. By the way, Semi, if you're playing this game and you've got the stream running, I would get the stream off straight away. Well, that depends. It depends on whether, again, you know, you're in a house where there's 3 people on the internet at the same time. This is another little tester. Got to be firm, get that cue ball back a few inches. Well, he can check this and come out for the 10 into the middle as we look, or he can just roll through. Just a roll through. And so the cross bank there, I think it was a cross bank on that 5 ball, has paid dividends for semi-pro. He's going to take the lead by 6 racks to 5. And it's well past my bedtime. Well, the bad news for Stubb is, Stubb predicted the match would be over in 45 minutes. But 45 minutes has come and gone. We are almost an hour underway and Stubb's behind. Well, we all know where the danger lies, folks. There, and there, and there. Anywhere near that 10 ball and it's in. So this safety exchange has got to be done extremely carefully. 10 ball is hanging. And of course, if somebody can get a very good safety here and end up with ball in hand, this rack will be over. And that's a better one from semi-pro. Not difficult to chip the one, I don't think, is it? Well, it might be. In fact, it is, now that you look at it from behind the 5. Stubb's in trouble. Now, there's nothing really. I mean, the awkward ball is the 4 ball. Stubb could just pot the 10 and leave it up to semi-pro. I mean, that would be the sensible thing to do, is to get rid of the 10 ball and get it spotted, because the 4 ball's going to have to be made, and you know, to get on it you have to be sort of here. Well, in the end he's trying to get to the 1, but we'll soon find out what semi-pro can do, because he has ball in hand, but he's going to have to deal with the 4. Now he'd be taking a big risk here to pot this 1 and try and improve the 4 and the 8 and still be on the 2. So there's a bit of a dilemma here for semi-pro. What, you think he's calling it the chip onto the 10? I don't even think he's looked at that. But that's a bit. Well, he is looking at it now. 10 ball called. Well, you've got to really make sure you hit the 10, and that's going to go in. But that was always the case. A good safety from semi-pro has given him the big reward with the 10 ball being over the middle. So that just proves again why good safeties will yield benefits in the long run. It gave him full control of the table, had Stubb in all sorts of trouble, and well, semis broke off. He now has a 2 rack lead, and Stubb trying to improve the situation again, but no luck. So welcome to any latecomers who've joined the stream. This is our final match of the night. This time it's the turn of Stubb to play a decent safety, but of course with that cluster of balls there, it's easy enough to get them safe. And Semi-Pro's missed a hit. Now what does Stubb do? Is he going to try and 3-fill? He's trying to nail this cue ball right into the 6 and 3. I'm going to have to blow my nose. Excuse me. He needs to get this tight if he's going for 3 fills. And he should be really on this 6 and 3. And he is. And of course, as I've always said, if you get it really tight, you've narrowed down all the angles available, and Semi-Pro is going to struggle to find a way out of this. And he's got the hit. Well done for getting that. And I think that is very thin to cut. And Stubb, I don't think's interested. He's looking to try and hide the cue ball again. Get this nice and thin. Now if it misses the 10, well, it's hit the 8. But this is where the safety zone is, bottom of the table. Too many vowels. Far too many vowels in that Dutch language. I mean, 2 A's for a word, A-A-N, and then een, E-E-N. This time it's Stubb kicking that cue ball. It's spinning back the way. Of course, once again, Semi can pot the 2. He's not going to be anywhere near the 3. And this time Semi-Pro gets the roll of the ball. And Stubb has called the 8. And he's kicked it in. Or did he miscall? I thought he called 8 there. I was getting excited there. It's a miscall. And Semi-Pro has the choice of shooting or passing it back, but I think it's far easier to get a decent safety. And, well, believe it or not, there is a gap. Good evening. How many's on Twitch and how many's on YouTube? Let me know, guys. See if we'll get any more than 10. We've got 11 in Twitch. Another good safety from Semi-Pro. 14 in YouTube. Well, that proves YouTube's working, guys. I can never find my live stream on YouTube now. Yes, I heard about Seni, yeah. Yeah, we heard about that. I heard about it on the day that it happened. I was away. I was in the lobby, but I was away. I actually had fallen asleep. And when I came back, Popman was sending me PM, so I looked up the chat. I scrolled up the chat to see if there was anything happening, and Seni's son had come into the lobby under his dad's profile, and but he did it to announce the fact that Seni hadn't appeared for his tournament match with Moz on Monday night, and the reason he hadn't is that Seni had had a stroke on Monday, and he passed away on Wednesday morning. So that virtual pool 4 pool room in the Sky is filling up. That's a few players have gone. We don't know what's happened to Franco, although if the rumours are true about Franco, he's gone also, but we don't know that 100%. But I think we can take it as pretty much guaranteed that, I mean, as I've said before, Popman knows that Senny's son has been online before in Senny's profile. And meanwhile, this match with Semi-Pro with a 2-rack lead, trying to kick safe, and he might have got away with that one as well, which is all you want. Stubb trying to run over behind the 9, but he hasn't hit it, and he's going to be in dire straits in a second or two. That was a poor one from Stubb. Well, that's backfired in Semi-Pro, because he's trying to lock the cue ball, but he's banked to 3. And from being in a commanding position there, Semi-Pro has thrown that away, unexpectedly potting the 3, and Stubb deciding he doesn't like the shot, giving it back to Semi-Pro. And Semi-Pro's just locked him up again, so that was a bit of a poor choice as well by Stubb. I mean, you've got to think about what you're doing, Stubb, because Semi-Pro was gifted an easy safety. Well, Stubbs called the 4. I don't know what pocket he called in. Maybe he did call it in this bottom left hand corner, but he hasn't got it. But Stubb left himself wide open for that one when he refused to try and play the safety off that 4, and Semi buried him. And now Semi at the table has to drop across for the 6. Well, now he's going to finish above the 9. It'd be risky to come behind the 9 below it, so finish up top of the 9 for this 7 ball. Why would somebody say that? Who's this Dutchy guy? Well, who is he? Is he anybody from VP4? And Stubbs now kicking off, trailing by 3 racks. too heavy on that, but he's not left anything simple. That 9 ball's a blocker, or blocking most of the pocket, but Stubbs called the 1. Well, he's going to have to be really accurate with this. And he needs to hope he gets lucky, and he has done. Well, that was 2 inches away from being a good shot. At Stubb. Well, I think, let's have a look at this 5. I think the 5's okay. That 5, well, is it okay? Let's have a closer look. Well, that 5's very tight to that 7. But I think it's clean. I think it will go. Well, if you've just joined us, this is the final match of the night. This is the winner's side match in the 10 ball Masters, the Virtual Pool 4 online 10 ball Masters, I'll say it again. And race to 14, it's 8-5 at the moment to semi-pro from the UK, Stubb from the USA. And well, that is not a great push out, deliberate fill by semi-pro, because look at the table, and this 10 ball's going to disappear fairly quickly, I would think, because he's set up the combo. So Stubb with ball in hand on the 4, and just looking to get over to the side rail. Where's the cue ball going? This could be a disaster. Oh, he's okay. Well, that all backfired on semi-pro there, deciding to try and lock up a ball, and he's pushed on the combo, and it's given Stubb control. He breaks off, the 3 ball goes, the 7 goes, and what have we got going on at the top of the table? He has got no shot in the 1. The 2 ball is right in the corner of the pocket. It will pot. Who's Carlos? Who are we talking about here? Who's Carlos? Right, rail not hit, so unless I'm out of sync, it should be ball in hand to semi-pro. I called a push. Well, he didn't, because it's ball in hand. Stubb saying he called a push. Well, we know the 2-ball goes. So now everything's wide open. Oh, is that VP Monster joined the stream? He's slurring his text. Well, I think the angle's decent enough in this 6 to get back across for the 8. Oh dear. Well, that is a bad one. And that's a bad miss for semi-pro, looking to take a 3-rack lead there. Should have been on the board, but he's let Stubb in, and it's an unforced error. And once again, I don't know whether he's got Stubb muted or not, but he certainly, if he has, he wouldn't be distracted by what's going on in the chat. He wouldn't see any of that. And it's a bit of a gift for Stubb. So it's back to within 1, and with the break, I don't know what the hell Stubbs talking about anyway. If he called a push, it would have been a perfectly legal shot. He obviously didn't, or he uncalled it, and he just pushed in and didn't get to a rail. Simple as that. End of story, move on. He ended up getting gifted a rack anyway, and he's now had the 3, the 4 and the 6 in the break. Well, it's going to be the call in the 2. He's missed that, and once again he's got away with it. So talk about lucky rolls. Well, that'll do. And this time Semi has got control. Then I had stun bug shot earlier. Well, what's Stubb wanting to do? Do you want to restart the match? I mean, what's it all about? Who cares? Well, he's called the kick and the 1. That's a great shot to dig himself out a hole there. really thin cut in the two, and the cue ball's got to find a path back towards this 5. That's going to scratch. So ball in hand for semi-pro. And this time he's got to make sure of it. Stubb managing to get out with a kick shot in the 1, but the thin edge of the 2 was plain ball, and the cue ball's run into the pocket. And this is the first of probably many vital racks to come. Now needs the angle on this 9. He'd be better killing the cue ball right there where the 8 ball is. I think it's probably straight enough to do that, is it? Yep, he's got the angle. Now anything but on the low side of the 10, so probably better to come back this left hand side, because you've got the wider angle to get to the 10. Well, he's run around the angles, and that will do. He's pretty much there. So this to take the 2 rack lead again. Well, that rack could have went either way in the end. I thought Stubb had got it there when he managed to get that kick out in the 1, potted it in the middle, the pocket that he called, and then scratched off the 2. And this time semi-pro broke off, couple of balls I think. What's gone? The 4 and the 6. Now has he got a shot in the 1? Yes he has, but look at where the 2 is. He's going to be hard pushed to get anything on the 2, and not risking it. Well, that's actually not a bad shot from the point of view that the chances are that if Stubb does go to hit this, he may well improve the situation here. So Stubb has a bit of a dilemma. What the hell's all this going on about? You know what I would do? I would just mute him for an hour, and then we don't have to read any of this crap. That's what I would do. I mean, we don't need to be reading anything. In fact, I'll tell you something. Well, I'll tell you something. See if you're going to watch this stream. If you want to read his chat, go into the room and read it. Right, that's enough of that. We don't need to. We're not interested. Well, as I say, if you want to read it, go into the room and read it. I've had enough of it. I'm fed up reading it. I'm more interested in the game than reading what he's got to say. So 9-7 to semi-pro, and Stubb has got himself in bother again. And he's calling the 3 into the corner. Well, like I say, I don't want to read it, right? It's my stream. I don't want to read it. If you want to read it, go into the room and read it. there's a suggestion. Because I want to concentrate in the game rather than looking at crap at the bottom of the screen. No, it doesn't make it more entertaining. If you think about it, if people are watching Virtual Pool 4 and they see there's an arsehole on the stream, you know, it's going to keep them away. It's certainly not going to attract people to the game. Well, the 8 does go. I ain't no Obi-Wan Kenobi. A nice little kiss onto the 9. And it's going to go to a 3-rack lead. Well, there you go, he's been muted for 5 minutes. So you can go to the room or you can stay in the stream. So he's been muted both ways now. I'll unmute him now just for a laugh. There we go. There you go. I'm no longer ignoring him, but he's ignored. Well, we'll never know what he said. That's the great thing about it. It says language, so he's obviously said BFS or something. Well, that's all part of the fun. You can ask Stubb afterwards what he said. He'll never remember anyway. But he's got work to do. Time to fire up, as Stubb says. Right, is he going to get down on this 410? How am I interfering in somebody's match? And who the hell's this Dutchie? What am I doing to interfere in the match? Right. No, I've got people on there to do that. Or I should have. Unless Larry's went into the room, so he's got bored with the stream and went into the room. Larry was one. If I have to do it, I have to come out the stream. Like this. Keith, you are a moderator, because when I clicked on your name, it offers me the option to remove you. Keith, you are a moderator. Oh, hang on a minute, I've got the bloody volume on. Hang on. Hang on. Right, we're back now. Right, Keith, you are a moderator, as I said, because I clicked on your name and it offered me the option to unmoderate you, if you know what I mean. I can still hear my bloody voice in the background on that stream. Anyway, it's 11-7 to semi-pro. Hang on. Right, we're back now. That's us, hopefully. Is Keith even there? Are you there, Keith? I read something in the chat on YouTube, but I don't see him. You are, well, yeah, send him to Duffman's channel. They'll take any trash. Yeah, you're more than welcome there. So I'll send them all over to you, Moz. You can have them. In fact, you can have Stubb. There you go. Take him with you as well. Now I can concentrate in the game a wee bit more. Anyway, 5-10 combo for Stubb. And in it goes. And Stubb back to within 3. Semi-pro, just 3 away. 7 ball in, 2 ball in. What was that? The 9 ball in the middle. But crucially, no shot in the 1. How's this arsehole back in? Let's see if we can get this arsehole dealt with, I should say. Well, I unmuted Stubb a while ago, so he should be back in the chat if he's mute timed out as well. He's back in the chat. Hugh, I got this back to stream. I don't know what you mean, Keith. So 11-8 to semi-pro. Well, that's the great thing about the internet. You can see you're anybody in the internet. But I've reported the arsehole, so hopefully YouTube will do something about it. He'll only come in another profile in 5 minutes anyway. That's what usually happens when you've got wasters. I mean, there's the other way of solving it as well. I mean, I believe you can just shut the chat down altogether so that if you want to watch, you can watch, but you can't say anything. I mean, that's the last resort, just to cut out the shit. But more important matters are at hand. Stubb at the table, trailing by 3. Thin cut in this 3-ball. And if he gets on the 4, again he should be out. He's going to come into the table. My bedtime's past an hour ago. Well, Stubb is going to be back to within 2. And that's the thing about Stubb. He does tend to attract arseholes. Needless to say, that Dutchy arsehole was one of them. He's probably a distant relation. And it's just typical of a Friday night that you get some half-wit coming in. So Stubb breaking off, ball in the break, shot in the 1, and he should be out and back to within 1. Well, none of the times you've suggested, Mods. That anything after, I mean, half 8 is too late for me, my time. 7 o'clock would be perfect, which would be like 1 o'clock in the afternoon your time or something around that time. 7:30, I could go with that as well. And then 8 o'clock is pushing the boat out. Well, it's up to Cobra. He's the same time zone as me, obviously, so it's whatever he can play at. And if I can't stream it, then that's fine. I'll just watch the replay the next day. So Stubb to get back within 1. Oh, is he giving up on you already? Well, now Stubb breathing down semi-pro's neck. And I think Stubb's come up dry. And what's more, I think he's got away with it as well. See, every time I tab out, this is weird about this old Logitech G5 mouse. If I tab out to my desktop or like YouTube like I did there 5 minutes ago, my mouse changes its DPI. So it does, and I have to press a little button to get it back down, because I then start flicking the table about 100 miles an hour like this. So I have to change the DPI down. It's weird. I think it's a bug because it's that old. But I've got the latest Logitech software installed, so I think it's just a bug thing. So, Semi-Pro has played the push out, it's been given back to him, and now he's in trouble. Oh, that's a good touch in the one ball. Now is Stubb going to blast the 10? It's not set, but he can certainly play the one onto it. He's going to have to just get that cut right onto the 10. And this to square the match. Well, I think Stubbs pretty much been trailing all the way. He's not been in front yet, has he? Stubbs not been in front in the match unless he won the first rack. Well, he's missed the combo. It was difficult anyway, but now the vital visit, yet another vital visit for Semi-Pro. All the balls at his mercy. 2 ball over the top right hand corner, 3 ball in the table, 4 ball, well, goes into both middle pockets, although obviously the 7 ball makes it tighter in that one. That needs to slow up. He's overhit it, and now he might have to call the bank, because I think this is a bit it's a bit on the tight side for a cut, but he can cut it. Needs to miss the 10, and it needs to avoid the hook on the 9. Oh dear. Well, does he call the right middle pocket? Yeah, that's about average. 26. I don't do triple figures in my streams. Listen, I've streamed all afternoon, and I've only had Polament as company. That was the one where I was streaming the what was it? It was American Truck, I think it was, and I went to Mexico, and a bus landed on top of me. A bus coming down the mountain managed to hit my truck and then landed on top of the truck. I ain't no PewDiePie. Well, Stubb is now going to be back all square, meaning business. And Semi-Pro now is going to have to respond if he can. He's had the lead all the way through the match. And Stubbs coming good at the right time. Well, it's a race to 3. Oh, the 9 ball seriously thought about it, but it's dry, and now a test of Semi-Pro's nerves. He's got the 1, but he's not got the 2. That 2's too tight. Now, Semi-Pros, you see, he's doing the wrong thing at the wrong time of the match, in my opinion. He's got Stubb unmuted, and he's paying attention to it. So that takes his focus off the job in hand. And you don't want to get involved in that at this time of the match. Oh, we're definitely intimate in here, yeah. We're all bunched up together. In goes the two. And the spin in the cue ball has brought it into play. Now, does he run around the angles? That looks the most obvious shot. Plenty of room. Oh, he's chickened out there trying to hold for the four. He should have went right round. Make sure the three went in. And that's a big sign of nerves there, and I think he's got away with it though. But like I say, you've got to stay focused on the job rather than paying any attention to what's going on. And that's major error as far as not muting Stubb. I mean, everybody can mute everybody in the game. Why he doesn't do it and just leave it blank is a bit of a puzzlement to me, because you're too busy paying attention to chat rather than focus on what you're supposed to be doing. And it's the wrong time of the match to be involved in anything like that. He's got away with it though. Well, there's a chance here to cut this across and try and hide. He hasn't quite got there, but he's got the distance. Reverse bank. And the cue ball stays up. And this is Stubbs' chance to take the lead for the first time in the match. That was 20 minutes ago he typed that, Simon. Well, that's a vital rack as far as semi-pros chances go. It's now 12-11 to Stubb in this race to 14. It's dry. 1-8 combo. Well, he's simply got to take this out now. Oh dear. It's going from bad to worse at the wrong time. He's hung the 8. Yeah, you're a moderator, Simon. Get in and mute me asthma. There you go. Well, you've got to hand it to Stubb. His tactics work. And when you've got the bait on the reel and you start reeling them in and you know it's working and you can capitalise on it, that's how you find yourself about to go 2 racks in front, about to go to the hill, needing just one more. Well, we'll have a final look at the bracket in a minute before I go to bed, just to see how everything stands. But Stubb breaking off in the rack that he needs. Semi had his chance in that last rack, leaving the 8 ball hanging, and Stubb was just going to do the rest. Now, what's been called here? Nothing. Oh, this is tight into the middle. You should be through onto that 3 ball. And this is, well, the point of no return for semi-pro. Has to take it out. Any mistake this time and he's gone. Again, he's just gone a bit too far. Has the angle though. Oh, it was just asking too much, and he's got away with it. So this match has now, well, it started at what, 8 o'clock, 8:30, so it's just short of 2 hours. Well, there's nothing been called. He's calling the 5 now. Now, is he going for the bank up and down? He might be trying to get the cue ball over behind the 7. I think he's got enough of the 5 ball to be able to do that, but he's calling the 5 just in case. Hard to tell with Stubb. He might be going all out for it, or he might just be playing the safety. But it's a good idea to call the 5 just in case, but he has to get the cue ball good. Well, he's went all out for it. Now how's his luck? Well, I think he's got away with that as well. And I see these bad rolls that Stubbs getting. We've seen a fair few of them. And he's got away with another one. And this shot right here from semi-pro might end up being his last one. Now, all out for the cut. He gets it, and he's going to be hooked behind the 10. And I think he's fighting a losing battle here. Calls the 6. Has to hit it, certainly. And he's missed it. And it's all over. And Stubb, from trailing, what was it, 5-1, has got himself back into it by using every tactic in the book. And he's going to come through in the end by 14 racks to 11. I think I spoke to Semi the other day, was it 3 or 4 days ago, maybe even been longer. First thing you do is mute him. Pay no attention to him all through the game. And probably most of the night he's been reading all his chat. And all the pleasantries are taking place right now. Stubb goes for the 10 to seal the match. And in it goes. And so Stubb is through. And it's a good comeback in the end. And he wins by 14 racks to 11. Last look at the bracket, guys. Oh, wrong thing. Hang on a minute. Where's that World Championship thing? To see where we stand. So now on the winner's side, we've got the Albinario match with Acero tomorrow afternoon. I think it's tomorrow afternoon, no, Sunday afternoon at 3 PM. And we've got Stubb through to play the winner of that match on the winner's side, obviously. And Spectre Dawn is through waiting on the winner of Jover and Hazard. So Spectre Dawn has definitely got the easier side of the draw on the winner's side. And on the one loss side, we've got Sylvia already arranged to play Mr. Bill. What time is that? Let's have a look. That's 7:30 on Sunday night, so we'll have that one as well. And I think that about covers it. Oh no, wait a minute, there's another one. We've got the Cobra Moz match has been set for tomorrow night at 8 PM, and I'll be there for that one, and I think that is us up to date now. So with that, thanks for your company, guys. Thanks for that arsehole being here. And you mute them and you kick them and they still get back in, and YouTube do nothing about it, so nothing I can do. Anyway, it's been quite enjoyable, but Semi-Pro really needs to learn to totally ignore Stubb and not be drawn in, and he get drawn into it. Mind off the game, got to stay focused and not be a participant in it. But anyway, Stubbs through, he won in the end, and he won from behind by 14 racks to 11. So with that, I am off to bed, and I will see you again soon, and I'll bid you good night, chaps.